It all starts off like a routine courtroom exchange. Just the judge confirming the facts, right? But pay attention to the pauses, the uncertainty, the vague responses from the defendant. Is it just nerves? Or is there something deeper going on? A strategic attempt to downplay the truth. Acting confused isn't uncommon in court, but it rarely slips by unnoticed.
For the most part, are those facts accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you get into an argument and into a fight with SB?
I don't believe so.
You don't think you did?
I just know that when she dropped me off, she was yelling stuff at me when I drove off.
So what did you do?
I just drove off.
You didn't do anything?
No.
You didn't provoke a disturbance?
No.
Good, we're going to trial. Thanks. We'll set this matter for a trial. Okay. We will go on the record in the matter 24 CM 202, State of Wisconsin versus Andrew Cote. The state appears through Assistant District Attorney Holly Rockow in person. Mr. Cote appears in person in custody with counsel Joel Feliski. We're set today in this matter for a plea and sentencing hearing. The parties have reached an agreement. Mr. Feliski, can you please recite the agreement for the record?
Here's what's on the table. Plead guilty to a single misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, and everything else disappears. The only consequence, just court cost about $443. That's cheaper than some parking tickets in New York. But don't be fooled by the simplicity on paper. These fast plea deals often cover up something much darker. In this case, it's about to pull back the curtain.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cote has agreed to plead to one count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct with the remaining counts in the complaint dismissed and read in, and a joint recommendation by both parties for court costs totaling $443.
And I believe he was in the process of a revocation. Was he revoked or did?
Yes, Your Honor. As of yesterday afternoon, the final decision from the administrator came in, and he has been revoked, and he will be sent to Polk County for sentencing.
Okay. And what charges was he convicted of in Polk County?
I believe they were substance use related, Your Honor. I was not originally opted into that case. That was my predecessor, Mr. Pollack. Unfortunately, I cannot speak to any detail as to the nature of those charges.
All right, thank you. I can just pull it up. I just am curious. Would be for the 24 cases or for a 21 case, Mr. Cote?
24?
Oh, 24 case. Okay, so for the 24 cases.
This is where it all starts to fall apart. We're talking charges out of Polk County, possession of amphetamines, cocaine, and multiple repeat offenses. That's not just a slip-up. That's a clear pattern. And in criminal court, patterns tell a story the judge can't ignore. So the real question is, with charges this serious, why does it feel like she's getting off easy? Stick around.
Possession of amphetamine as a repeater. Possession of cocaine, a misdemeanor. It looks like. All right. Okay. Basis for the agreement and why it's in the public interest, Ms. Rockow?
Your Honor, Mr. Schmidt negotiated this case with Mr. Pollack and Mr. Flasky, but based on my review of the file, I believe that this was based upon the facts and circumstance surrounding the case being relatively minor in terms of the disorderly conduct. There was, of course, the violation of the bail, but that was the Polk County bail. And so it looks like that was all resolved with his latest revocation. So those bail jumps being dismissed and read in is appropriate for that reason. And I don't believe that any additional confinement or supervision is going to be necessary, as he is facing that sentence for the revocation.
Okay. All right. So we do have victim SB in the courtroom here today, and Ms. Bauer, SB would like to make a statement. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
SB may come up here and have a seat at the black desk, and you may provide a statement. If you are going to read something, please read it very slowly so my court reporter can take everything down.
Of course.
Here it is, the turning point in the courtroom. The victim is about to speak and her words are about to cut through all the legal talk, the plea agreements, and courtroom formality. What she says next changes the entire tone. If you've been waiting for the emotional core of this case, this is the moment.
I was in a relationship with Andrew Cothey for almost a year. Since we started dating on January 22nd, 2024, I knew there was something wrong with the way he would talk to me or even act. But I was in love. On April 5th, that's when the real anger started. Almost every day from then until the 22nd of October, or the 21st of October, there were fights. He would hit me, but he always thought that he could just make it up. Sorry. On October 21st, we were at a friend's house and he was on the phone with a friend. And just out of nowhere, he called me the B word and then threw a car manual at me. Seconds later, he would spit in my face. But once again, made it up, told me he would never do it again. But just a couple hours later, my world flipped around. On October 22nd, about midnight, we left the friend's house and he drove to a parking area in Grantsburg. I ended up falling asleep in the passenger seat, like I always had. He ended up waking me up to ask me where the drugs were. I handed him what he had wanted, and I went back to sleep. He woke me up again and asked me for the other bag. I said I gave him everything I had, and I didn't have anything else. He got angry and started firing the flare gun out the sunroof. The second time he woke me up, he asked me once again, and I told him the same thing I had told him the first time. This time, he got mad at what I had told him, and he ripped off the rearview mirror and threw it in the back seat. Then he took the passenger visor and ripped it off the car, and then hit me in the cheek with it. The third time he asked, I told him the same thing. This time, he ripped off my glasses, bent them, and broke them.
This wasn't just abuse. It was months of psychological and physical torment, shattered glasses, destroyed phones, smashed mirrors. Anything could become a weapon. Every second was another form of control. And all of it happened while she was trapped inside a car with no escape. This isn't a simple case of disorderly conduct. This is a fight for survival against a threat that kept getting worse.